What is up, football fanatics? Welcome to this episode of the Tim Reynolds Show, as it's Football Friday, baby, and we're going to talk ball with you guys on this National Football Day. So happy National Football Day out there to all you guys, to all my followers and subscribers. Please like the channel, subscribe to the channel for more sports news and sports entertainment content you guys will love. I know that. So hey, man, starting out, we got some big news in the NFL that we're going to go over with you guys right now. Just some big news topics that are happening right now as training camp opens up this week, as the 2024 season officially opens with the Texans opening up training camp, the first team to do so. And then we also have the Chicago Bears opening up as of today on July 19th. So guys, Texans opening up to start us out. Are they legit Super Bowl contenders this upcoming year? I really do think so. With all the big additions that the Houston Texans have made this offseason, not only trading for running back Joe Mixon, but also trading for wide receiver Stephon Diggs, and the moves they were able to make at the draft, I really do think we have ourselves a big competitor in the AFC. Not only that, we probably have ourselves the AFC South Division champs right here, if you ask me, heading into the 2024 season. And then we also kick off with the Bears, like we mentioned earlier, as they are also another team that kicks off training camp already. And hey, the season's right around the corner, guys. It's the 2024 season is underway now with some of these training camps getting started. Caleb Williams got his deal signed earlier this week as the Bears signed both of their first round picks. Caleb Williams to a 4-year, $39 million fully guaranteed deal for Caleb. And also, we've seen Roman Doomsday also agree to a 4-year deal as they agree to terms. So we now see the Chicago Bears in full swing with their draft picks signed, heading into training camp. Now, the Chicago Bears, are they going to be a contender this upcoming season? A lot of people think that they are an improved team from last year's team, but they're in a really, really tough division. So for anybody to have really high expectations for this Chicago Bear team, I think you are going to be underestimated, and you're going to definitely be seeing them a little underwhelmed in this upcoming season. I don't see them really panning out to be a contender in this division. That's because you got the Lions and the Packers, who are definitely better teams than they were last year with the moves that they've made. Plus, the Vikings look like they're going to be a better team this year too on paper with all the moves that they've made in the offseason. So with a tough division, who knows how the Chicago Bear team is going to look as we head into the 2024 season. And then the next thing, guys, we've been hearing reports around the league as rookie wide receiver Xavier Worthy for the Kansas City Chiefs has been impressing not only at minicamp, but impressing enough for his coaches and people around the league and around Kansas City to be speaking a lot about him. With this offense and this wide receiver, once you plug him into this Kansas City offense, Andy Reid's going to find a way to get this guy the ball. This guy is fast. He's a really good route runner, and they love his footwork from what we've seen from reports in training camp. Once he builds that rapport up with Patrick Mahomes, hey man, it's going to be really, really good for this team going forward. And then also, we see Joe Burrow has returned to the minicamp after getting surgery on his wrist this past offseason. Are the Bengals going to be a legit contender to contend against the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC this year? Well, they definitely sewed up those type of thoughts with getting wide receiver T. Higgins re-signed, which is a big deal for them, even though he's going to be on the franchise tag this year. No long-term deal, but they're going to run it back with the pieces that they have there on that offense as the Bengals look to be a contender against the Kansas City Chiefs. Will they? I guess that all just depends on Joe Burrow, man. If he's able to stay healthy, this is legitimately going to be one of the best offenses in the NFL. But whether or not the Bengals are going to be contenders, maybe playoff contenders, I really do think they're a playoff team. But are they as good as the Kansas City Chiefs? The Kansas City Chiefs got a lot better this offseason, guys. And with the team that they had last year, I think a lot of people expected them to lose, especially come playoff time, and they just didn't. So the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be up there on the top until somebody knocks them off, really. And I just don't know if the Bengals are going to be a big enough or good enough overall team on offense and defense to take out the reigning Super Bowl champions. And then also, guys, we get the big news this week as Brandon Ayuk, the wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, has requested a trade once again after contract negotiations have failed between him and the 49ers. Now, there's a lot of reports out there on what destinations Ayuk could go to as far as the New England Patriots, the Washington Commanders, just to name a few. But there's a lot of teams that could use a wide receiver of Brandon Ayuk Aiyuk's talent. The fact that the Niners are not giving him his contract extension, I think is really a bad move for San Francisco, because you really want these pieces on this offense that made it to the Super Bowl last year to run it back with the last year that you're probably going to have Brock Purdy on his rookie contract. You might as well pay the guy. If he was on any other offense, this wide receiver would be getting wide receiver one money. But because the Niners have already paid Deebo Samuel, they've already paid Jason Kittle or George Kittle. I mean, guys, they got to pay Brock Purdy this upcoming offseason as well. So something's going to have to happen. Whether that's Aiyuk decides to just play in his last year on his option of his contract, or if they maybe get a short-term deal done and worked out. I don't really like the way things are looking down there in San Francisco with this deal. And I really would expect Brandon Aiyuk to probably get traded somewhere, even though reports are saying that San Francisco is not going to trade him. And so other contract news that we are seeing around the league, got to start out with the Dallas Cowboys, right? As not only do they have Dak Prescott in the last year of his deal, they also have CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons looking for new contracts as they're in the last year of their rookie deals as well. Now, this is a really big problem for Cowboys, man. You haven't seen them make a lot of moves this offseason, and my determination of that was they're not making moves because they want to be able to sign these guys to long-term contracts. Especially the Dak one. That one really confuses me because his cap hit is so high this upcoming year. You would think that that means that they're going to try to get something done to bring that cap hit down, the overall cap room, so that way they can get deals done for CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. But we're just not seeing any reports on any progress whatsoever from the Cowboys, from the NFL, from ESPN, from anybody as far as reports about contract talks getting close to being done with CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, or Dak. Dak, we haven't heard anything. I really don't think they're going to give Dak Prescott a contract extension, even though he damn well earned it last year as being one of the best quarterbacks statistically in all the league. And not only that, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons are going to be paid in the top 5 of their position. Guaranteed, dude. You're going to see that happen, whether that's with the Cowboys or not with the Cowboys. So it's really a head scratcher on why they're not trying to get these deals done right now, so it's not a distraction heading into the 2024 season for the Dallas Cowboys. So a lot more questions than answers for the Cowboys on these contract negotiations, and we'll have to see what happens going forward. Then the other big one that we were going to talk about is Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, is still looking for a contract extension with the team, but we have seen no progress whatsoever, according to reports, on whether or not they've got a deal done or close to a deal done. There seems to be some discrepancy in as far as money being paid and divvied out. They're not liking the top market right now as far as where they want to pay Tua, from what reports say, but if you ask me, you finally got a franchise quarterback there in Miami. The Dolphins fans have been waiting for this, and now the guy balls out. He leads the league in passing yards last year, and we're not going to give him a contract extension? Like, I understand, guys, the contracts are what they are with these quarterbacks, but you can't tell me that Trevor Lawrence gets a huge contract extension and he deserves that more than Tua Tagovailoa, who led the league in passing last year. No, Tua deserves to be paid what he deserves to be paid. It's his turn to get his contract. I think the Dolphins are really playing this one bad, in my opinion. I really think they need to get this guy signed up so you don't have this distraction on the team heading into the season, because otherwise we could be seeing Miami take another little swing at trying to find another franchise quarterback next offseason. I'm not sure about that. I'm sure Dolphins fans would like that at all. And then, hey, close to home, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, they're looking to sign their all-pro left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, to a contract extension. But reports are out of the camp there in Tampa Bay that they were trying to give him right tackle money, even though he switched to left tackle last year. So there is a little bit of discrepancy here in probably what the contract extension negotiations have been going on there in Tampa Bay. I really do think that Tristan Wirfs is going to get himself this contract extension. You got to pay this man. This man is one of the best tackles in general, let alone left tackles in all of football. I know he played mostly on the right and was all pro at the right tackle position, but he really did transition over to that left tackle spot really, really well last year and was still one of the best tackles and one of the best left tackles in all of football last year. So I think it's just a matter of time before we see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get this deal done with Tristan Wirfs, as he did hold in recently during minicamp, where he did show up but didn't participate at a risk of injuring himself, which you can't blame the guy for doing that. But I really do think, Tampa Bay fans, we're going to get this deal done. Jason Licht has been doing a tremendously good job on getting guys re-signed, especially that deserve those type of contracts. quarterbacks. We already seen it with Antoine Winfield Jr. this past offseason and plenty of other guys. So I really do think this guy is going to get signed. You'll see Tristan Wirfs as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer for years to come, in my opinion. Then we also see the next one is, will the Packers play Jordan Love after his huge 2023 season last year? Now, he is playing on a contract extension that he worked out last year with the team, but this upcoming contract number for him is just over $10 million. That doesn't really put him anywhere near the top of the quarterbacks being paid this upcoming season. So the reports have been that they're very close on a contract extension, but we haven't really heard any sort of news as we're heading towards training camp here in just the next few weeks for the Packers. Maybe in the next few days, I should say. So Packers fans are wondering, when is this deal going to get done? It's only a matter of time before Gunther Kuntz and the GMs and everybody running the Packers gets this guy signed to a contract extension. He balled out way too good last year, was second in the league in passing touchdowns. This guy is definitely somebody you're going to have to sign long term. They just need to try to find a number that they're both comfortable with. And I really do think that the Packers are going to sign Jordan Love to a long-term extension. And I think we'll see that done probably before the season starts, before week 1, if I had to guess. And then the next thing, guys, is in the news is we had the Minnesota Vikings finally sign their rookie quarterback to a deal as he gets a 4-year deal done where it's $21.85 million, fully guaranteed. So congratulations to the Vikings on getting this done. Now, where does this put the Vikings as far as the division goes? Well, we did talk about this a little earlier in the show, and the Vikings definitely look like a very improved team on paper, especially with their draft picks. They were really, really able to improve this roster in this offseason, but this division is stacked. Like we mentioned earlier, the Lions look better, the Packers definitely look better, and they're going to be contenders no matter what you want to say. So the Vikings have definitely going to have to try to do what they can to get this offense going, whether it's with Sam Darnold for the whole season or J.J. McCarthy coming in somewhere between the middle part earlier in the season. It'll be interesting to see what happens as Viking fans are wondering if they're going to be contenders in this division or contenders in the playoff run come the 2024 season. And then, guys, one of the biggest news things that we're going to talk about is Bill Belichick is announcing that he's going to return to the sidelines in 2025 after he looks over his options. Where do you think Bill Belichick will end up next year if he does get some interviews for some certain teams? Well, there has been a lot of teams floated out there as far as where he could go. I've heard the Dallas Cowboys. I've heard the New York Jets, because both of those head coaches are definitely on the hot seat heading into the 2024 season. But, excuse me, with the history of the Jets, though, with Bill Belichick, I just don't see that happening. But I could definitely see Jerry World reaching out to Bill and them sort of working out a contract, especially if it doesn't work out with Mike McCarthy this year. With all the pressure that's going on down there in Dallas, that seems like it could be a really good fit for him. But that all depends on how this season goes. There could be plenty of other teams firing their head coach and a lot more coaching openings than we'd even think about heading into next offseason. And if that being the case, there's going to be plenty of teams asking for interviews from the GOAT, for Bill Belichick to be their head coach, as Bill wants to chase that all-time win record. And in my opinion, he's going to get it. I do see some team taking a chance on Bill Belichick next offseason and making them their head coach for the next few years to try to make a Super Bowl run. Because there are plenty of teams that may be just one head coach away from being able to make a really good Super Bowl run in the 2025 season or years beyond. It's just a question or not, is it going to be a good fit for Bill? See, Bill has been a team builder, almost the GM and the head coach, for a very, very long time. Is he going to be willing to kind of take a step back and maybe just be the head coach and not worry so much about the personnel? Or is he going to be looking to pretty much get his same role like he had in New England, where he was able to be the general manager and the head coach? This is all kind of head-scratching moves as we head into the season here, but something to look forward to next offseason, as no matter who gets fired, no matter what team fires their head coach, Bill Belichick is going to be at the top of their list as far as interviews go for their next head coach. So guys, this has been Friday Football Talk from Tim Reynolds Show. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more sports news, football news, NASCAR news, and sports entertainment right here on this channel, The Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you spending some time with me today on this beautiful Football Friday. And hey, happy National Football Day from The Tim Reynolds Show. Please like and subscribe. Peace out, everybody.